1, 2, 3.
Hey!
You're going to know this song. Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride one horse open sleigh.
Hey!
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride one horse open sleigh. I like that. Dashing through the snow, one horse open sleigh. All the things we go, well laughing all the way. Bells on bobtail ring, making spirits bright. What fun it is to laugh and sing a sleighing song tonight. Oh, jingle bells,
Jingle bells, jingle all the way.
go singing.
All the fun is to ride and one horse open sleigh. Yay! Jingle bells, jingle all the way. All the fun is to ride and one horse open sleigh. Hey! Jingle bells, jingle all the way.
So good.
All the fun is to ride and one horse open sleigh. Hey! Jingle bells, jingle all the way. All the fun is to ride and one horse open sleigh.
Well, you're very good
Very
singers.
good, well done.
Well, I'll tell you something. Yeah, shows me that you're listening, and I want you to tell the story with me. Ready? So there was a dog. Make a dog like this. And everyone said that the dog belonged to them. But the dog didn't belong to anyone. This dog lived by the side of a river and underneath a bridge. But one day he could see his breath steaming in the air, and the dog looked and he could not believe his eyes, hands in the air, because goose feathers were coming out of the sky. And the dog looked and thought, goose feathers, and it stuck out its tongue, and oh, they were so cold, and it started to pad and paw its way. You're very good at the back there. Do it with me, everybody. And it started to pad and paw its way all the way into the town. Now listen, in the town, it would go to each door and it would scrit and scratch at the door. Do that with me. It would scrit and scratch at the door, and the door would open up. Do it with me. And people would give the dog some food, and they would always say, oh my dog. What did they say? Oh my dog. Do you want some food? And I'll tell you, that dog could knock or scratch on every door, and it would always be given food. Now listen, as the dog was going along, it was getting colder. Show me. It was getting colder and colder and colder, and all it did was lick its lips and thought to itself, I'm going to get some food. And it went to the first door, and it scrit, scratch, scritched at the door, and the door stayed shut. Show me how shut it was. And the door would not open, and the dog could smell good food inside and hear people talking about a baby that was going to be born. And the dog thought, well, I'll go to the next door. Ready? And it scrit, scratch, scritched at the door, and the door stayed shut. The dog pulled itself up. It looked in through the window. Can you do that with me? It looked in through the window, and there it could see food on top of the table and all of the people around, and it looked. And the dog thought to itself, oh, all of these people, all of this food. And when it looked, it went to the next door. Do it with me. And it scrit, scratch, scritched at the door, and the door stayed shut. And when it looked, it pulled itself up and looked in the window, and what could it see but a tree inside of the house? And the dog started to laugh. A tree inside of a house. But still, it didn't have any food. And when it looked at the tree, it could see there were candles and lights, and right at the top there was an angel. And every door it went to, do it with me, it scrit, scratch, scritched at the door, and the door stayed shut. You are so good. But then it came to the edge of the forest, right at the side where there was an old woman. And when it got to the old woman's house, it scratched at the door, and the door opened up. Now the old woman's house didn't have a huge fire inside. It wasn't filled with all of her friends. She was there by herself. And there was a small fire. Can you make a small fire with me? There was a small fire. And she made that fire, and she had a small plate with some food on. But she did not wait for a single second. Do that with me. Did not wait for a single second. She said, "My dog. You are my dog. You can have some of my food." And she didn't have much, but she cut the food in half and put it in a bowl, and the dog licked at his lips. And he ate the food, and the old woman smiled and said, "Oh, my dog, you are my friend. I do like having you here at Christmas time." And the old woman fell fast asleep. And when she was asleep, the dog started to feel guilty. Everybody else had so much, and this old woman had so little, and she hadn't waited for a single second. Well done. And out it went. And as it started to walk through the town, who did it meet but the proud peacock? Can you show me how proud it was like this? The proud peacock was there, and he looked and he said, "Oh, hello, dog." What did he say?
Hello, dog.
"You are so good, and why do you look so sad?" And the dog told of how he had scratched at the doors, and it was only the old woman who had so little who had given him some food. The peacock smiled. Show me. As well as a peacock can. The peacock smiled and looked and went, "Friend dog, the old woman is very good. She's very kind. My master, the butcher, he has sticks and coal, and we can take some of that, and he has sausages." Draw sausages in the air. He has sausages. And now the proud peacock, show me, went into the house, and it brought out some sausages, it brought out some sticks and some coal, and put it underneath its arms. But the snow was on the ground, and the sausages were dragging in the dirt. But the dog didn't wait for a wink or a blink. He took the sausages and tied them around his neck like a great big bow tie. Now, there was the peacock. Show me. Sticks under one arm, coal under the other, and the dog with sausages tied round its neck like a great big bow. If anyone had looked out, they would have looked and laughed. But everyone was so busy inside of the house. And as they walked along, who should be there but the cat? Can you make a cat with me? But the cat. The cat looked and went, "Meow." What did it say? "Friend dog and friend peacock, what are you doing? You do look funny with the sausages underneath your neck." And they told the story of how the old woman was the only one who'd given the dog upon this Christmas Eve some food. And now the cat smiled. Show me a cat smile this time. And the cat went, "You are so good." The cat went, "My master, the fishmonger, he has got some fish." And the cat went inside of the house and got not one but 2 fish. And it tied the fish underneath its neck. And there was the dog with the sausages about its neck, the proud peacock with the sticks and the coal, and the dog and the cats and the peacock all walked along, and up in the tree there was an owl. Can you make an owl with me? What noise does an owl make? Can I tell you something? That's the best to-it-to-oo we've had for a long time. And the owl looked and said, "Oh, ho, ho, ho. Oh, look at you. Ho, ho, ho. What are you doing?" and the dog and the cat and the peacock told about the old woman who'd given them so much. And the owl said, "Ooh, hoo, hoo, hoo. Can I come with you? Hoo, hoo." You ready? After 3. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, hoo, hoo, hoo. Can I come with you? Let's try this. What does a dog say? Woof, woof, woof. What does a cat say? Meow, meow, meow. What does a mouse say? Squeak, squeak, squeak. What does Santa say? Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas! You're very good. And what does a cow say? Moo, moo, moo. And what does a sheep say? And what does a pig say? But what does Santa say? Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas! Very good. What does a monkey say? Listen to Tom. Just you by yourselves. Ready? And we got them back quietly, okay? I could see your face when they're all shouting.